Richard here, and in this video I'm gonna go into the one thing that you need to be aware of, the one reason why your manifestation is not coming. If you tried all the techniques, all the methods out there like affirmations, scripting, visualizing, any mainstream technique, if you've tried all of those techniques and you've seen no progress whatsoever, then this video is for you. By the end of this video, you're gonna understand fully what this one thing is and how to actually speed up your manifestation even when your life is in complete stagnation and you don't see any progress. Before we get into it, if you want to get access to my digital ebook for completely free, the link is at the very top in the description box below. So just go down in the description to click that link at the very top so you can get instant access to this book. But without further ado, let's get started. So the number one reason why you've been trying all these techniques, you've been trying all these tactics, you've been taking a lot of action, but you haven't seen any physical progress. The number one reason for that is something called importance. So essentially you're attaching an inflated amount of importance or significance towards a certain entity or an object of attention. For the most part, this could stem from fear. It could stem from the fear of failure, the fear of loss. You may lose something, or it could stem from having too much importance towards manifesting something that has a due date to it. There can be a variety of reasons, but the emotional substance is that of fear and potentially needing your desire and your physical reality in order to feel emotionally fulfilled or whole, and also fearing something that you attach an inflated amount of insignificance towards that could potentially manifest, or something that will not happen, hopefully. What you need to know is that with any goal in life, whether that's in your business, your relationships, your physical, your fitness, your emotional health, any area of your life, if your intent is that of need or fear, of something that you attach an inflated amount of significance towards, or an inflated amount of importance towards, then you actually risk delaying the process more than it already is in this physical reality. Now, I want to make one thing very clear. Things in life, anything in life, can be important. That's perfectly fine. Things can be important in life, but nothing can be too important. Nothing can be too important, because then if it becomes too important, you risk the possibility of losing that thing in some way. It may look like you lost it, but you really didn't. It just looked that way. Or you actually lose it. But just know, when you have this inflated attachment towards something, then life or God or the system will do anything in their power to take that object of attention away from you in order to lower your importance. And when your importance is lowered, you will get that thing back to you in due time. Not to mention, this inflated importance stems from need and, really needing it to manifest or to not manifest. So then it also reflects out into our physical reality through acts of trying to control our reality. And we cannot really physically control reality, because physically we are limited. That's not where our power lies. But when we try to control our physical reality, you'll find that if you're going through some rough challenges right now, your life may end up getting worse because you're trying to control. You're not allowing it to run its course. This controlling is an act of resistance, and you're resisting reality. And when you resist reality itself, I'm sure you know what would happen. If you resist reality itself, then You're gonna experience events that are uniquely related to you, so you can actually release this inflated importance towards what you actually want or what you don't want. Maybe you want to avoid something. If your importance level is too high, then you're going to see very little physical progress. Maybe you are in complete stagnation. You've been trying to manifest something, but you haven't seen any physical movement that it's coming. You see nothing. You've tried everything and you've gotten nothing in return. Or you get inconsistent results. So maybe one day your specific person texts you, but then they just ghost you out of nowhere, right? Of course, this brings the question, okay, Richard, well, how do I lower this importance then? If it's such a big deal, then how do I lower it so I can actually manifest what I want faster? And to be honest with you, it's a lot more simple than it's let out to be. If you want to lower your importance or your attachment to your object of attention, then you actually need to stop trying. Because keep in mind that lowering your importance is actually the same exact thing as detachment or letting go. And to actually let go and detach, you can't try. You can't try to let go. It's not possible. Letting go happens when you come from a place of acceptance. You don't let go, you accept, and then you let go. In particular, what makes letting go really hard is the internal turmoil that's going on within you, the emotions in particular, because the emotions, they drive the intrusive thoughts that run on in your head all day. And so most people, they try to, fight their thoughts, but they don't actually confront the core problem. And when it comes to their emotions, they avoid their emotions as well. So that's why they struggle to let go, and really they stay stuck in that internal muck, and they attract more of what they don't want. Not only that, but they extend this delay period, which I'll also be mentioning at the end of this video. But in short, accept the emotions that you feel, the thoughts, accept the events. Maybe you see no physical progress in your reality, you feel stressed out, you feel almost lied to even. Maybe the law of attraction is some scam to you. Accept that too. Accept the complaining. If you want to complain, feel what you feel, the emotions that arise, the urge to complain. Accept all of it. Don't even try to fight. Don't even try to be positive if you can't force yourself to. Because trust me, that's not the best way to go. If you try to be positive when you really can't feel positive authentically, then you actually become more miserable as you keep living. So feel what you feel right now. Really, I encourage you to really sit down with yourself. Find some free time if possible, and at least 5 minutes. It really doesn't take as long as you think, but sit down somewhere, really quiet, make sure nobody's around if possible, and really feel what you feel. Don't fight yourself. Please be gentle. Don't resist so much, because if you understand the futility of resistance, then you can do this without any problems. Because if you resist, you obviously know that you're only going to get more problems and more struggles, because you are resisting life. And when you resist life, life is going to resist you. So yeah, accept the fact that you may not be able to let go at the moment. If you can't let go, don't try to. In fact, accepting your attachment right now is an even better approach than actually trying to let go anyways. Come from a place of acceptance and not from a place of trying to let go. And letting go becomes very easy once you do this for yourself. You accept everything. Because acceptance it's similar to allowance and not resistance. But when you avoid all this, when you avoid what you may currently see in your reality, all the stagnation, when you avoid your emotions, your thoughts, when you avoid yourself, then actually avoidance becomes an act of resistance. So you're avoiding and resisting all of those things, meaning that they'll keep chasing you in an effort to lower your importance, but you're not allowing it to happen. And when you're allowing it through acceptance, then actually the importance is distilled. And in time, your physical reality is also going to show physical progress that your manifestation is coming. Keep in mind that letting go or detaching has nothing to do with taking no action. I want to make this very clear. Letting go is an internal thing. It has nothing to do with the external. I promise you that. Letting go is very internal. You can still take indifferent action. You can take action out of indifference. So you could think to yourself, okay, well, I've tried this for several months and I've seen no progress whatsoever. But you know what though? I only live once. If I don't pursue my passions, if I don't pursue my dreams, then what am I living for? Let's just do this and see what happens. That is what indifference is. But yeah, letting go is a very internal thing. It's not external. So as long as you're internally acceptant of what is and your emotions and your thoughts, then how much action you take doesn't matter. If you want to take massive action, then go for it. If you want to take very little action, then go for it. But know this, if you're coming from a place of control and if your intent that's driving the actions that you take is out of control and the need to have something, if you're desperate, if you think to yourself, if this doesn't happen, my life is over. If I can't do this, my whole being will just crumble. If that is how you're approaching the actions that you take, if that's the intent that's driving the actions, then your reality, your desire is going to be pulled away from you. And reality is going to do all kinds of things in an effort to lower this importance. And so you can approach your actions from a place of acceptance, and then you'll get what you want. But most people take action from a place of control. Their intent is that of control. It's not the action. It's not as simple as just saying, oh, stop trying. By stop trying, people mean to let go of the intent of controlling and the intent of effort. Reevaluate the intent that drives the actions that you take in your daily life, because your intent is more important than the action itself. The intent is like the fuel that's driving you. Is it fear? Is it the need to control? Or is it out of acceptance and indifference? Also know here that when it comes to letting go and your emotions, your attitude towards your emotions is extremely crucial. And this is something that has also changed everything for me and has really solidified everything that I've learned about, emotional healing and just, healing in a very internal sense. So when it comes to your attitude towards the negative emotions in particular, keep in mind this. The emotions all stem from your attitude. You'll find that even if you let go of the negative emotions initially, your attitude about the negative emotions are, oh my God, I don't want these emotions around me. I don't want to feel negative. I only want to feel positive. If I feel negative again, like, oh my God, it's just so annoying, then you will find that negative emotions will more commonly show up because your attitude is that of annoyance. You're annoyed by the negative emotions. Not to mention your thoughts, your everyday events that occur in your life, the people around you, life in general. If your attitude towards life is that of negativity, or you're constantly perceiving everything that happens for you in a negative light, then actually your attitude does inevitably manifest your reality, or at least in a way that validates your worldview. I've noticed in my life that the same principle applies to dealing with emotions and intrusive thoughts. Really evaluate your attitude towards even the negative events, seeing no physical progress in your reality, because your attitude towards the negative emotions can actually allow those emotions to be released, or it can just add on fuel to the fire. And to really elaborate on that, when it came to me and my negative emotions in life, my attitude will always be that of annoyance. And I would always want to avoid it through social media and, pornography. Other people, they even do that as well. They go to drugs, They smoke, they have sex. I mean, there are so many forms of distraction out there, to be honest. You could avoid this all your life. But if you avoid it, if your attitude is to avoid instead of to really embrace and accept those emotions, if your attitude is out of avoidance, then you will live in this perpetual loop of avoiding your internal gunk and even avoiding the current reality that you live in. And so what I find is that if your attitude is that of acceptance, if you come from a place of acceptance, if you conduct yourself in that manner, then your emotions will follow suit. You will feel whatever negative gunk that you feel in a moment, and it'll just be released, but it won't come back as often. You'll find that when your attitude is that of acceptance and acknowledgement of the negativity that exists in life, then you're never gonna struggle with your negative emotions. You may still feel that, I still feel it, but it doesn't rule over me anymore because my attitude is out of acceptance. I acknowledge that it exists, essentially. I'm not denying its existence. The negativity also has a right to exist, as well as the positivity. So yeah, never forget that emotions also stem from attitudes. So if your attitude is always that of avoidance and, wanting to just, avoid negativity and always feel good, then you will always deal with negativity. Trust me. If you try to avoid all that negative gunk in life, then you're always going to get that. And if you pedestalize positivity and, feeling good, if you pedestalize that, then you'll always deal with the negativity. But if you accept that the negativity exists and you put them on an equal pedestal, then actually you're gonna really feel emotionally fulfilled because you're not trying to feel good all the time, but you actually accept the negativity. Then that's how you do it. That's actually how you become emotionally fulfilled. It's not by feeling good all the time. That's what changed everything for me. It's when I realized it's not feeling good all the time that makes you emotionally fulfilled. It is accepting the negativity, the things that you don't want, accepting that and acknowledging its existence, that it can exist. And when you do that, you start to feel emotionally fulfilled in and of itself. And this is a crazy epiphany that I've had in my journey. Your attitude also influences your perception of life. And your perception of life also influences your physical reality. So how you approach your emotions, your thoughts, how you approach the events that you don't want to experience, the unexpected challenges, and the things that happen out of the blue. How you approach those events will also influence how the future corresponding events occur in your life. So to wrap this video up, over time, you will see physical progress that your manifestation is coming, but only when your internal state is that of genuine acceptance and genuity. So keep in mind that this needs to be genuine. You can't force it. You may have to go through some unique challenges to you in order to lower your importance, because that's what life does. When you have this inflated attachment towards something, you may experience events that specifically target that importance in order to lower it. And so you may have to go through that because as humans, we have attachments and we really don't know how to approach, letting go of them. And so that's why we have to go through these events sometimes in order to let go. So if that's happening to you, just know it's actually a good sign. But essentially, if you're not genuine about it, if it's not true acceptance, then you're not going to see progress. You can't fake it. That's the one thing that you need to keep in mind. You can't fake acceptance. It needs to be true inner acceptance. And it's not that hard. You just have to inquire deeper, accept those emotions, accept the parts of yourself, the parts of your reality that you don't want to look at. And then it will happen for you. You will see physical progress. So to recap the main points of this video, when you accept the emotions, the thoughts, the things that you don't want to look at, your unwanted reality, when you accept those things, when you come from a place of acceptance rather than trying to avoid the things that you don't want to manifest in your life. Rather than coming from a place of avoidance, then you actually lower this importance because you came from a place of acceptance rather than a place of avoidance. See how that works? And ironically, your attitude, the way you conduct yourself in regards to your external and your internal world, will affect the corresponding external events that you manifest, and it'll affect your internal world. When it comes to your internal world, mainly your emotions and your thoughts, and in particular, your negative emotions and thoughts. When you have an attitude of acceptance towards the negative emotions and thoughts, then the thoughts and emotions won't pesterize you. They won't be as persistent. Keep in mind that when you accept the negative thoughts and emotions, you're not resisting them anymore. You're just accepting them. And when you accept anything in life, in your internal world or your external world, then there is no room for persisting. The thoughts, the emotions, they can't persist anymore because you're not persisting. It's all about how you respond to those thoughts and emotions. When you accept it for what it is, they have no choice but to lose momentum and to disperse as if they've never existed. When your attitude is that of acceptance rather than avoidance, all that internal gunk will naturally just disperse. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll be notified of any new video that I put out. And share this video with someone out there who's trying to manifest something into their life, but they see no physical confirmation that it's coming. Maybe they've tried all the techniques out there, all the guides, all the step-by-step guides on how to manifest their ideal life, but they don't see any progress. If you know someone like that, share this video to them because I'm sure that they'll find this video very helpful. If you want to check out a video I made that goes into the delay period and how that's integrated with manifestation and the truth behind instant manifestation, I'll link the video up here. So I urge you to watch that video. And without further ado, see you next time. Peace.